only two teams that line up beautifully, and the very first ban from the Knights happens to be the newest operator, Brava, first removed. And an interesting ban, not very common, not a lot of teams ban it away, and not a lot of teams play it. So have they seen something they don't want to deal with in terms of Reven?
It's a chalet ban, though. I like it because you think about the drone going in the main lobby, you get that main lobby cam straight away. It can really help you with getting library control, as teams like to throw lots of utility up on that section up. I like that ban. The Flores ban, the exact same, makes clearing that Ivy sheet that little bit more difficult for the attacking side. Then we're going to see Azami gotten rid of, and the last ban was
Valkyrie, could be Valkyrie giving my yes. No, it's my thing. I always say it's.
You always said Solace. You've always said Solace.
I've always said, guys, for the record, I said it was a Solace ban. In my notes, I definitely have written down, I said it will be a Solace ban. Gibby, did I make the Valkyrie mistake again?
You did. You made the Valkyrie mistake, but the Solace ban is another one that makes a lot of sense with. But you think about the way this map plays, you think about the way that Joe plays in particular, it ain't no surprise there whatsoever, as the Knights like to get rid of the two newest operators inside the pool. So as we move into round one, the first dance floor we're going to see is, are we going down to basement? Yeah, we are. So other regions, but we don't tend to go to basement in round one.
It's not the most common for a first round opener. We've seen this site deconstructed by a lot of different methods. One of my favorite ones popped up at SI. It was Kino. Used Fuse on mezzanine balcony to jump in there by that window. Open up the entire lobby floor with one cluster charge. There's so many options to attack it. There's so many different versatile ways to break this down. I'm not sure if it's the strongest defense to go to, but only time can tell. Again, they're only casters. These guys are the pros. Let's see how they break this one down. Lineup wise for Reven, not too surprised at all. Joe Runner will be forming up a front line draw. Normally we see him on more aggressive roles, especially in his stint in Southern Europe. But he's on the Thatcher, supporting Sam and Wraith as the double hard breach comes out with Thatcher and with Thermite Ace.
The Thatcher, though, is not too bad. Once he gets those walls open, he can go do whatever he wants. Once you get rid of those EMPs and those breaches are done, you can go be an impact with the barrel of your gun. Instead of utility in the back pocket, you look at the drones being used as well, as the Knights look to identify where Reven are going to push from this time. And the first gunfight does come out, and Joe, Whippet didn't even get to enter the building.
No, he's only DBO, hasn't got his 1-for-1 yet. I will be taking very keen out of that one, but Draw should be able to loop over, get that revive. But a lot of time wasted to get him picked back up and left on 20 HP. He's the honor. You don't want to lose those double nades early in this situation, but huge early engagement for Knights. You've got Joe down 20 HP. Tugo's lost a little bit as well, just a little bit, but there is that frost mat, so someone might stumble upon that. And the extension inside of Trophy or inside of Kitchen Dining makes that lobby pressure that Joe wanted to apply very difficult to establish. Wraith inside of B garage looks her way in, looks to establish that long angle deep inside of sight, but I'll have to work a little bit longer as he's very alone. And for most of Reven, well, finally grouping up, they were very split, but they're getting themselves ready in a back push, very telegraphed by them. They open up the main bridge, go to the back. I think they should get Red into the Knights, and they have a perfect step to deal with it with that hatch and kitchen open.
Yeah, but now you got to clear the player who is playing on top of Pillar. Dirty will hold that angle towards Boiler as well, as Draw just catches the tail end of, I think, one of his team is one of the enemies as they look to step down those west main stairs. Runner playing behind the Boiler. Joe, low HP, playing above, but you feel like this engagement between Tom and I think that is Draw could be a pretty important one when it kicks off, and Tuku is going to fall as he gets put into DBNO now as well, up on that top floor. And now Mate's going to get taken down as well. That's two players taken down by Joe as he gets his entry. He's going to get the second. Whippet, recency bias and all that. Last time you and I casted Joe on Chalet, he dropped 20 plus.
Let's not talk about that one. Let's not summon that demon to the courts just yet. 50 seconds, 4 versus 3. 3 surviving defenders, all with 100 HP and a decent crossfire in the limited entryways. One player vaults and then try and get pressure, but Sam, who's holding the cross, gets himself shut down. The SMG-11 of Jiri, it's him. This player in blue could be pivotal. Runner has to try and tap away and find something to cost to the late push down blue, but the ADS keeps Tom in the fight. He's got that SMG-11, but Runner will find one of the dirty, and this is going to be a problem. They all have to fall back and compress, but the front lines are formed, and well, it was taking some time. 20 seconds, Gibby. SMG-11's primed and ready. The push is going to be very difficult. A hard angle to hold from blue. Smoke cancer goes out. What a shot by Tom. His teammate's going to catch hold of the SMG, leaving Wraith all alone. 10 seconds. He's got to play for kills. There's going to be a crossfire perfect on him, and Tom swings wide. Finds a huge impact 2K with the SMG and gets the opening round for Knights.
20 seconds, we're on the clock when that push came through, but when you've got one of those toxic babes in the back pocket, you can funnel those attackers in the exact way that you want, and Reven fell one by one to Tom and Jury as they held that spot. So we move to round 2. Reven will be pretty disappointed in that one. They got themselves in a 3v5 and managed to hand that one over to the Knights. So this time around, we're going to go to the first floor, and it will be a kitchen defense this time around with it. And when you're attacking kitchen, when you're Reven, you've got a couple of things that you're going to want to do. You want to establish verticality, get that main wall opening towards kitchen, and then try to force some form of a plant in dining. Now here's the kicker though. You've got Joe. We have seen Joe on this exact site push in through trophy window. No time on the clock.
We're not biased, guys. We're not biased for Joe. I promise you. I promise you that.
We're just, look, we're reliving the highlights. I've casted Joe once.
What?
Once.
That's plenty, mate. That's plenty.
And he died 100 times in 50 rounds.
Only one man can have... I don't even want to run the numbers what that KD would be.
Oh, it was still 1 because he got us 3 at every round.
Oh, listen, he can have the highest kills with his team, but still one of the worst KDs. That's how good he is. So, moving into this. Oh, you've derailed me. What? Only one round's done. You've already passed me off the rails, Gibby. How dare you?
It's 2 AM in Ireland. It's 2 AM. It's late. The brains are fried, and you have to listen to me.
Yeah,
it's
it's
your
prime.
dream.
No, this is prime time, mate. This is. Don't act like you were in bed. You were cute and right before you were on the cast.
It's demon hours. So, look at what Reven are doing. Well, Joe is going to get taken down, putting him back to neutrality for KD, as all things should be, going 2 and 2. Sam peeking towards that window now, is another player's going to have to find that impact entry kill. So you're looking at the likes of Runner, particularly on the Ash, as he steps in through basement. Nobody there whatsoever. And when you look at the setup, they've given him this whole library lobby side of the map for free. It's like, you know what? You can have it. You can have basement. You can have there. That ain't going to impact this round with the way we want to defend. You've got 3 roamers playing on the top floor. Their job is to stop you from pushing in through this soft breach, and they're going to hold that line for as long as possible. So what Runner's doing here by opening up that window onto Fluke Balcony, giving himself options. Tuku, though, is leaving those options a little bit less down as he gets himself a double, as Runner and Draw are going to get taken down on the window, leaving us on a 5 versus 2 with 1 minute and 30 seconds left to go. The only thing they got is a couple of drones in the back pocket of Wrath. He does get that DBNO on the Tuku, but he needs to find that next impact kill.
Just 1 minute 15 left to work with. 5 versus 2. 4 versus 2. Bit change. But, right, 4 versus 1 now. It's all down to Sam. Now, I've seen Sam do some pretty impressive things to collect 1 on the dirty, but at this stage, the round is 1. Knight. Unless something goes really, really, really wrong, Knight should win this round. You've all seen. No Frostman. And we're going to see the RX slowly fade away. Sam will get himself a second. No! Vertical control still held by the defensive Knights. Nothing's went egregiously wrong yet. Hopefully not. Fingers crossed. Can they get themselves a second round? Sam, walking around, fruiting around inside a kitchen. 30 seconds.
No case.
No case. He has to play for kills here. He's going to walk up the stairs. Camera spots him and he's going to get peeked up. That's going to be it. Shut down by the SMG-12 close quarters. Knights gets it done in 2. Very good, strong defense. Again, 30 of kills go in complete favor. And when it gets to that 5 versus 2 situation, it's all but over. No vertical control. Cases out in Narnia. You've got no pressure, no map control. Knights, great job on the early game so far. And they're being disruptive to that rhythm and flow that we see from Reven time and time again.
The thing that I liked about that round, and I know it didn't lead to a kill, Dirty tried something that I don't think I've seen in a while, where he heard that Sophia charge, getting rid of that bookcase, and he jumped out the window to try hide the fact that he was playing behind it, but he vaulted back in and Sam didn't fall for it. Sam was still waiting for him to step back inside. But it's one of those things that had it come off, it would have been a huge play, but in the end of the day it didn't have much of an impact as Knights still went on to win the round. So we go to round 3. And once more, we're seeing Knights have a preference for ground floor and basement. This time we're going to go to bar games, and once again, verticality is the key. So what we'll see them do is hold library, hold Ivy stairs. There is no Flores. So what you want to do if you want to clear that utility now for Reven is take control of office, open up that wall that looks towards Ivy stairs, and throw utility over the top to try clear. And the only operator right now that has, well, they've got 2 operators with nades. You've got Draw on the Sledge, Joe on the Yana. You've got 4 nades to try to clear that shield from Ivy.
Not a lot of nades. And Lucy is on half HP. How's that happened? Question. I believe some misinputs with impacts. There's only 1 left available out of the available 4. If there was an Osa on the board, you'd be worried. But not today. Lucky arrives with this one. So the entire battleground is going to arrive inside of library. So the key thing is to clear this single corner. And it's a very difficult task to do. The fire is going to do a good job of dealing with it. You know, you can choke those players out. There's no one in the dock. You can outstim that fire as it lasts that entire duration. The library might fall reasonably quick. A crossfire will get held by main lobby. That's going to be Yana. And gets read like an absolute book. Mike shuts him down. And the opening pick, untraded, goes to Knights again.
Yeah, Joe falls. That's 2 nades out of the back pocket as well now, as they won't be able to utilize them for the rest of this round. So now they're going to send those fire bolts into the corner. Nobody is there, though. Dirty has already fallen down below, and he's just going to hold that double window as well. So now that you know that corner ain't clear, or ain't got anybody in it, you drone out the rest of the library. There is a player playing on top stairs. Runner's playing a position to catch him as he tries to fall back down through those library stairs. You've got Draw droning out the rest of the map. He'll identify that there's a player playing on top of Ivy stairs as well. So for Runner, it's a waiting game. You have 1 minute and 30 left on the clock. That is an absolute age for Reven to continue to drone. But there's Mike being able to take down Runner, putting us in a 5 versus 3 now.
Knights in complete control. Looking complete dominance here, Chalet. This is their vacation home in the mountains of France. You'd imagine the EU core would be so much more comfortable here, but it's just been not clicking for them. This is their map pick as well. 1 boss in the mud. Tom can't quite find enough to DBNO or get that confirmation on the Wraith. Draw and Sam fire away. Sam by the double, and just like that, the round opens wide open. 1 trader back to the side of Knights, and that's a must-win situation. Wraith between a rock and a hard place, stuck in mud, and Impact bashes up against the door frame and takes a chunk of HP away. Draw alone in lobby has to work for it, but Wraith detects that he's clear to push on in, and Bar might be free real estate. They can wander on in, but where's the case? It's inside of games, and Tom pops up to find Draw. He'll get himself traded, and Wraith now in a 1 versus 1, but doesn't matter. Tom finds it deep inside a Bar, and a flawless rotation of the defense. And 3 rounds go to Knights.
But again, it's Tom cleaning up the mess that the rest of his teammates made of that round. They fell due to Sam and Draw being able to take control of library, and he was there to get that double kill at the end of the round on the Frost to clean it up. As you said, flawless rotation. And here's the big thing. This is Reven's map pick, and not only that, we are now living in a current world where on Chalet, you almost anticipate a 3-3 split. As an attacking side, you expect to win 3 rounds. So for that to happen now, Reven need to go flawless over the next 3 rounds. Knights, if they get 1, maybe 2 more rounds in their defense, they're going to be in a very good position going into their attacking phase.
It's not an easy situation for Reven, because the way they're approaching this map, fundamentally they have all the right ideas. They're trying to achieve the right things, going box by box through that checklist. Get control of library. You gotta do that. You gotta clear that corner. So you clear the corner, you have Capital to do that. But everything else isn't working. They're getting read into perfectly. Knights have the answer. That peaked the main door. We lost Joe in the first 10 seconds of the action phase. That was they knew, alright, Joe's gonna sit, he's gonna hold main lobby. Read into it, fight him, win your 1. And that's working brilliantly for them so far. That tempo, if it doesn't get muted by the side of Reven, this could be a very, very quick map for Chalet. As you were saying, you expect the offense to be a little bit better.
I'm just waiting for Reven to come to life here. I'm so impressed with the way Knights have been able to shut them down. So what are Reven going to do? Well, nothing out of the ordinary. They're going to attempt to get that wall open. You look at the setup, you don't even really need a lot of utility to get that open, as that breach will be now completely blown apart. So now they'll rotate back around, get inside of Wine, open up those walls into Wine Cellar as well. And from that point then, you pick and choose your way to go through. Now, this is a fun one. Jerry's going to play in the window. He's going to try to vault out to make something happen, but Sam is in position to pick that one up. And for what feels like the first time in a long time in this fixture, Reven actually get the opening pick.
Yeah, decision was made to go out the window. Correct one or not was a decision, one of them. And opening pick goes in favor of Reven. And this is what you need to build on that. So you're on an intrinsically weaker side. Basement's not one of the best. And we have a Frost lurking in West Bank, could be a problem. Similar hold once again. There's holding to hold on to that hatch, have it open for that retake. It looks like Reven have read into this. They're going way more central to that main lobby, main breach push. Joe finds a second one. We lose Might, 3 versus 5 now in favor of the offense. They have a lot of map control to work with, but how are they going to break that down? Lots of time to find the remaining pressure upstairs, but they don't know this Frost is hiding, running, and lurking just inside of West Main. They can get that pick. This round's cracked wide open, and they should be able to confirm it from that point. This could be huge, as they have no idea. So, free pick. Joe's now traded off, and this is going to be a problem. His lobby's wide open, and 2K there arrives. And for Knights, that's huge for Reven. It's a nightmare. Now you've got to deal with this again, and he rotates down for free. No one's on the crossfire. Untraded picks. This round is very much back in the balance of the defense.
A 2K for Tuku, making this round back in a very winnable position for Knights. So Warden switches on those goggles, looks up towards the stairs as the smoke will be thrown, but he's still aware of the fact that you got a player pushing down through these blue stairs. 30 seconds to go. The push has to come in. It's being telegraphed that it's going to come in through the main breach, and Sam steps into the void and begins to put the case down. If that case goes down as one, Dirty does get his one, but it's a little bit too late, and now Sam and Runner are both going to get themselves out of position. Runner playing the hatch on top of main stairs. He's got himself in a little bit of a dance here as the player looks to step in through. There is a rotate there that they can make their way through into the side of a garage. Sam, you didn't need to push there, peek, but he does, and he gets himself a one. Tom is there to trade it back because he is the man. He always cleans up the mess. And there's going to be another pick from Dirty above. And that should be the case diffused. And it is, but whip it. I don't know why Sam peeked there. He didn't need to. He was in a great position on the outside. And by doing so, he finds himself in a position where he's taken down with just a little bit too much to be done above from Runner. And Knights take a 4-0 lead.
A face of dazed confusion has arrived to me. Right. That plant is a very difficult retake to win. Very, very difficult. You got to think about the key parts. You got a player holding the hatch in main lobby. Now, he was very much spooked, or at least aware, that it was going to be that initial push upstairs, because he backed off the hatch and he went and looked towards top mezzanine. But the fact is, Sam could have played it very safe, could have played it far away. Yes, he got his one trade, but got himself traded immediately after that by Tom. Of course, we talked about him being the janitor. He cleans it all up. He gets it done. Knights, 4 rounds. 4 rounds, and that was a hard-fought one to get back. They clawed it back from 2 early engagements, going the way of Reven, get themselves their trades, then win a very difficult retake. Reven, you or die. Find that momentum, otherwise your map pick's going straight to Knights.
It's not looking good, and I think with what you and Jacob spoke a little bit earlier on today was they're reading exactly the way Reven are going to play, and as effective as that style of play can be, when you got Joe, if you're a defending side, you can probably guess where he's going to be 90% of the time in the early stages of the round. I think that one was the first time that we've seen Joe live a little bit longer into the mix as we wait for this one to start. But looking at the defensive lineup for round 5, anything standing out to you?
Not really. I mean, it's the typical kind of what we have. You've got the crutches, you got your 1.5 crutches, you've got your...
Welcome back into the Blast LATAM League. This is the semi-final, and I hope that break helped you get 1% more towards that drop. Whip it. I'll tell you this, they might have gotten 1% closer to the drop, but Knights are pretty damn close to a win in map 1. 4-0 as they've been flawless so far on the defense.
For every round Reven get, I'll hit the little special caster button we have that gives everyone an extra 2% on our drop. That sound good?
Do you expect them to get any more percents in this one?
Do you want? Do you want me to? Do you want my actual reason? Or my reasoning?
Yeah.
Opinion?
Yeah.
Oh no, no.
I'll give you.
You know what? We're all in. All in. If I had channel points, all in. Knights to win it, and maybe drop 1 round, so you'll get 2 free % on on your drops.
So let's go round 5.
You ruined me. I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for you to put me on the spot like that one. Oh, is Reven gonna get 7-0? Like, heavy. I mean, it's round 5. You can't be asking me that.
I thought I had you on your toes. I thought you got to that point now where you were ready to be put on the spot at any time. But look, this is round 5. Reven, they probably had a little bit of time to talk amongst themselves after that break, and they need to fix something. The entries ain't really going the way they would want to do, and in the 2 rounds where they did have an impact on entry, they stalled out. They let it down. Tom, the janitor, was there to clean it up. So a little bit of a change to the setup this time as Joe was aiming towards trophy. Remember what we said earlier? He's been known in the past to dabble in a bit of a quick jump inside a trophy, and what he's doing now is getting Wrath on this window, and by doing so, it means that Joe doesn't have to worry about a player, and that he just needs to focus on that one with a player that could be playing inside sight, if they elect to do it.
So they're going for a solar take, Gibby. One thing I am very scared about is you have no pressure on the bathroom window, so you have complete freedom to rotate any way you want. It's Chalet! The map of cutoffs! The map of cutoffs! Cut off the defense, make it impossible to move. You got a big window, you got bathroom window. Try and get... Okay, bye, Wraith. Bye-bye. Bye. Joe gets 1. Sam manages to get 1 with the Claymore. And looks like G-Ree's going to be next claimed up. Joe will get that confirmation. So, who needs cutoffs? We can just send them on in. Runner finds 1. And I think I was brave to say it was going to be only 1 round for Reven if they can keep pulling out those performances. Mike all alone against 4. Lots of time for the case to go down. He still has upstairs control. That could be huge. However, they'll read into this one. They haven't seen him on site, so they'll begin to suspect he's upstairs with control. But he'll walk down Solarium stairs. Oh, the player in West Main keeps himself safe. No one's watching the cutoff. He might be able to swing wide and get 1, and he does! But the trade is there. Runner quicker out of the draw. Finds Mike and Reven get themselves the very first round, so I'll click that special button. Caster gives 2% to the drops, and if it doesn't work, it's on your end. It's definitely a real caster button I have right here.
If your drops didn't go up by 2%, then I want hashtag blame Whippet in chat. It's his fault. He wrote a check that I don't think he's able to cash on that one. So we move into round 6 this time around. 4-1. Reven slowly drawing themselves back into this one, but you still have an uphill task if you want to get that 4-2 split, which even based on what we would say at the minute, but a 4-2 split isn't really that good for the attacking side anymore. A 4-2 split for the defenders is something they're going to be pretty happy with.
Yeah. I'm just scared now. I'm just scared of seeing that hashtag in chat now. That's gonna scare me. What have you done? What have you done? You've turned them against me!
Blamed you.
Of course you have. Of course you Not surprised.
But look, on the bright side, Reven have won a round this time, so let's see if they can double down on that one. And the thing is, they played a little bit more like what we expect. They were a bit more aggressive on the entry. They won their ones, and they were able to just take that direct line towards site. I'm trying fully back them up, but I'm enjoying this. I'm not going to lie.
Yep. Oh, Gibby. The things you do to me. I would say I'm catching straight. These are aimed. These are pinpoint precise shots you're sending in my direction. Right, 2 minutes 30, and we begin the slow process of Reven getting into that map control. Very key for them. And this time they're a little bit more spread out. They're holding crossfires. They're in these good positions where they can vault themselves in and get that control. Opening pick, though. Tuco's going to be able to find that one, and Joe's first to fall untraded. And that's the problem. Yes, you spread out to get that entryway. And, he goes for a jump out on Sam. Good read on that position, but Sam's quicker in the draw, reads it better, gets him shut down. Now we find ourselves level once again, and here begins the delicate dance of burning utility, getting control, and beginning to open up or remove the player in that corner. The fire will force him to drop away, and he's done so without anyone covering it. So he's got in or back to site with relative ease and safety. And now Library is a little bit exposed, but the only player holding onto that control will be top mezzanine, and the drone's going to find them out very soon.
Yeah, but Draw needs to clear that laser gate as well if he really wants to put some pressure on there. Wrath will begin stepping through as well. But as you said, there is a player playing on Ivy that you got to deal with. Now Wrath pre-fires round the corner, nothing to be found this time. Draw using his drone as well, as they just look to find where they can isolate that next 1v1. So this is, I like this idea. So Wrath tosses the impact EMPs to get rid of utility, but that one's going to get caught, and that could be a bit of a problem. But Draw steps in the library, he finds one, gets the trade on the Tuku. It's a 3 versus 3. Now he turns his attention to library stairs. Dirty falls all the way back down to basement as he's given up all this ground now to Reven. 1 minute left on the clock to deal with as well. You look at the fact they've got plenty of drones that they can play with as well. The question is, where do Reven strike next? Or will we see Tom clean them up like we've seen him do time and time again in LATAM this year?
Draw's going to chew through this floor on top mezzanine and make this ball a very difficult area to inhabit, so you don't have that freedom of rotation, and that compresses Knights further and further back towards games. That's where I imagine the hit or least pressure is going to get sent in this kind of the next 30 seconds. Mike still has control inside of dining, and no one's going to be able to push him in this situation at this late phase of the round. He has complete control of lobby. He can be an absolute nightmare, but Sam's going to try and stick this plant in the smoke, and no one's going to be able to stop it. 2 seconds till that goes down, and it's completed. Case goes critical, and no one can bounce back from that with vertical control in the hands of Reven. This round looks to be close to a done deal. Mike will try and get closer to the EMR. Draw's going to be able to find one. Sam gets in the action, but leaving it at 2 versus 1. The player on blue collects that, and Draw will find the final. And Reven get themselves their second round. A much better, much more well thought out execution from them. Very well done. They get themselves a second round, but it's time for the side swap. We'll move to the defense.
And this round takes up even more significance now because Reven moved to the defense and they need to win this one. If they do, it makes it a 4-3 lead to Knights. If Knights win this round at 5-2 up on attack, they will breathe a massive sigh of relief. So round 7, first round on defense for Reven. A little bit of love for Eminem coming in as well from Draw and Wrath, which you like to see.
I wonder why they've got an Eminem stuff equipped, huh?
Would one of the players on Reven maybe have played for Eminem in the past? No.
No. What?
Exactly.
What?
Exactly.
What?
I tried to catch you out. But then I remembered.
I was like cooking. Like, no, none of these guys went for the academy. Like, no.
I tried to catch you out because you, other than demo, I think you've got the most encyclopedic knowledge of every player that's ever existed.
It's, you know what, I've been shocked sometimes at how some of that knowledge has faded away. I think it's just being your due. It's rotted my brain away.
You're welcome.
I have worked with Gibby for about a year now. About a year. And, it's been a year. It's happened.
It's felt like 5, mate. It's felt like 5.
I've aged like it's 10.
Well, you are the old one, even though I'm technically the old one. You're the old
You're
one.
like 10 years older than me, and somehow you're in better shape. Troll's gonna be able to find the opening pick on the dirty. He's rocking around. What's he on? He's on the RX 1.5 clutch, of course. I love that. Soon goodbye. Wave goodbye to that one in the next coming patches. Runner up close to first with the MPX, an extended hold and lots of presence again. They've also opted to go down to that basement to hold on control. And this is a much slower, less coordinated push from Knights right now. They look a little bit disjointed. The opening pick untraded. You've lost your Nomad. And while those air jabs aren't key bits of utility for the round, they certainly do help against a team that likes to be aggressive, likes to push and move around the map, and be as fluid as Reven do.
So 2 minutes on the clock. Tuku will notice where Draw is as he steps towards the door, but there is a player holding just to his right. He steps up across and he does get a nice shot on the Tom, and he looks for a little bit more with the Oryx because he can jump back inside, but now in a 5 versus 3, things just getting a little bit more difficult now for the Knights. Jerry wastes a drone as well as he gets a little bit of intel on the player on pillar, but now you've lost your Thatcher and that wall is essentially inoperable and openable. You need to get some control on the top floor if you want to do that, mate. Helps us cause out just a little bit by getting that pick, but it's still a 4 versus 3. You've got a little bit of a breach that you can crouch walk into, but they are a little bit worried about a player playing on top of West Main. Stun grenades being thrown, flashes being used. Sam's going to get one on to mate though, and now by using the nade, they're able to open up this wall. That'll force the player from pillar back, but it is a 4 versus 2.
The crossfire from blue basically makes it into another round. Look at West Main. Hello, it's Runner who sends it down the main stairs. Gets it, and Rafe will collect the final pieces of the puzzle. Reven get themselves another round. They get themselves a third. They get within 1 round distance. And while normally we see Chalet being favored towards the offensive side, are we going to witness a majority defense Chalet? The lead Knight had that looked oh so impenetrable, now reduced to a single round. Can they hold on to this one, as Bar and Games will be the next site of choice brought out by the defense of Reven? And there's been a lot of Frost play, and we've not once seen anyone stumble, meander their way into one of those pog mats. Have we just not cursed someone yet, Gibby? Normally we do. No, we have to get someone, so who's it going to be? Here's the prediction. Who walks in the Sam's pog mat in this round?
Tuku.
And if you're right, chat, you get an extra % on your drop.
And if I'm wrong, you can do hashtag blame Gibson. If I'm going to point the finger at you, we can point it back at me the other way as well. Well, but did you notice though that there was a little bit of indecisiveness from Reven on that operator pick phase? They had Mira up until maybe 3 seconds left, and then they elected to switch back to the Oryx. So Draw was going to play Mira. He was going to set that Mira up inside of stock, looking towards the window. He was going to set that Mira up on top of main. But they've changed to Oryx. Now here's the question I gotta ask you.
Oh,
is it because of the impact?
Quiz.
No, this is a fun one. Do you think the Draw went back onto Oryx because of the impact that he had in the last round instead of just going to the Mira?
Listen, Draw's a fantastic player, but every time I see someone on Oryx, I'm just going to say he's an Oryx 1.5 crutch. And, I mean, he's doing well. He's playing that up. Again, he's going to be aggressive. He's going to be in their face. And I think it's a better style of play for Reven. I think the team's more built around that aggressive, in-your-face front line. And Amira brings lots of utility, helps this structured defense and that hold, that fortification of library. But it's not going to be much use when you lose the opening engagement. Joe gets caught out. I think that's from the roof angle, from the bathroom window. A great example of how crosses can get used on this map. And they'll wait for a moment to try and bait him out. But at this stage, Joe is as good as dead. The nade confirms it. Some might say overkill. I say a perfect use. You don't have to risk anyone for it. And you get that confirmation. Advantage now sits with Knights after that very good early pick.
4 versus 5. You got rid of Joe off the board, but the only thing is Joe's utility is already down, so you're not necessarily losing as much as you would if he was playing on Vigil or one of the more selfish operators. So now they're going to wait. Angle opened up, mate, with the DMR, unable to hit that shot long in towards Library. Filthy angle being used that time, but it's something that we've seen in the past before. Jerry is going to step on in. He's going to pick up that phone to see where the cameras will identify the rest of the players from Reven playing on, and that forces Sam now to get rid of that camera. That means that he can't sit back and have Joe make the call as to when they're swinging around the corner. But the big problem is Wrath. He's still playing in the corner of Library. They need to clear him out.
That library position is such a difficult one to clear away. Again, you use that nade to get that confirmation on Joe, so that's one less key piece of the puzzle to clear this out. And you have to really try and just take these engagements. The player on Mezzanine's a perfect cover. You've likely got someone in supply watching the jump in, so you got no real options to go. You gotta win your one, and Draw's gonna win one towards Tom. Shuts him down, and we'll get the player on Mezzanine. It's just gonna be an absolute massacre for Draw. One by one, they walk in his wearing arms. The T5 obliges to remove them from active play. Runner will get one more to Jiri. It's gonna be race to find dirty. And very quickly, this went to a 4 versus 1 situation. Tigo, the last one standing. And what do you reckon? If he can get it done, he's not walking to a frost mat, so it needs a bit of pride for Sam. Will lose his head on Ivy. And I think a consolation kill is all we can credit that one with. For 35 seconds to work with, he'll creep and crawl his way to Mezzanine. Then he's getting himself into a tricky engagement around that door. Catches one. And this is now a winnable rat. Draw's alive. And it's going to be one for Reven. We go level.
This is indeed a winnable round for Reven. They won that one. The 1.5 coming in clutch again. You say clutch. It was clutch that time for Draw again. He was able to pick up a triple. Look, I'm not going to lie. I prefer the Oryx 1.5 crutch to the days of the Alibi 1.5 crutch, which were just terrifying. True.
Listen, if I have to go through Twitter and see one more montage of people using Oryx 1.5 or Orden 1.5 and they're getting kills on people that aren't shooting back, I'm uninstalling Twitter. Seen too many of those.
So what you're saying is
Your
next
clips.
time you see Fresh, put up a clip.
Oh.
For context, we played with Fresh one day, and he was dropping 10 kills a map, and every kill was shooting someone in the back, because he just walked randomly through the map. I was like, if that was me, there's 4 guns looking at me, and I don't even get a chance to shoot back. Not fair.
And even if they do have the back turned to you, it's a little bit windy in your office. You might miss the first couple of shots that you're trying to hit.
It's not a little windy. There's a full hurricane going on every time I try to shoot my gun.
I think you're in a wind tunnel, mate. Did you rent that out to Adrian Newey for this Red Bull car?
I accidentally put mouse acceleration on. That's what happened.
Oh, of course you are. So, 4 versus 4, we're back to level, and Reven have come back into this one again to give you the storyline of this one. If you're just joining us, it was a 4-round advantage going into this, and it's been 4 rounds in a row from Reven since we had a restart after a rehost. They've been in complete control from that moment, and they've looked way more put together, way more synergized, and they're completely on lock in these rounds. They've been way more clinical, and that's what I like to see for a team that's had a core that's played together for so long.
So, looking at the setup here from Knights, a little bit of a, I don't want to say speed, but it will be a fast execute when they elect to do it. They've got the Zofia with the breaching charge on the window as well. Jiri is going to throw that Roku in, which should allow him to take on this 1v1. Tuku gets the kill on the Joe. Trade it back, but there's the Frost Mat coming in clutch. And now it's a 2 versus 3. Wrath all the way down. It's actually a 2v2 as Tuku does step in the Frost Mat, but it's a round later than what we planned. So we'll breathe it down. Wrath and Draw in a 2 versus 2 for now. Not quite sure if that res is going to come up. Dirty will pop another phone call, giving away the position of Draw nearby. Tom still holds the angle, looking through West Main as well, and Dirty is going on the hunt. Wrath falls back to sight, confirms out Tuki, takes a little bit of fire from a Draw, or from above actually, as it takes him down HP just a little bit. Whip it. Minute and 20 seconds left to go. 2v2. Next pick you feel is very important in this one.
You have the Nook, which is going to be huge. You can get that map control, walk a little bit closer, and be able to find that pick. And that pick you mentioned is going to arrive as Wraith is next to fall. Dirty finds that with that DMR, leaving Draw on the bomb chassis in dining. He has lots of angles to work with, but he's lost upstairs. He might try and peek. He might have the T5 at a 1.5, but the DMR gets the job done. And wow, we're going to go our advantage with Knights once again. But this is a much, much closer affair than we thought it would have been when we were 4 rounds, 5 rounds into this series.
Yeah, Reven have come back very well since that technical pause where one of the players crashed. But since then, they've been really good. But right, they've stemmed the bleeding a little bit. They've got it back to a 5-4 lead for them once more. Still, you'd argue, ahead of schedule. You know, round 10 for the attacking side to have 5 on the board at this point with a couple of rounds to go. They're going to be still happy with the way that this one is going. But we did a big thing, though, at the start of the show where we bigged up Joe and his neutral KD and his entry. He has been having a miserable time on the entry this time around, and I think it's down to the fact that teams know where he's going to be. They know how he's going to play.
Counter to that theory, I have a theory here. It's the Joe to window ratio on the map, right? I think there's not enough windows to channel his inner 1-for-1s, and he can't get the job done. What do you reckon?
There's a lot of windows on Chalet though.
But I mean,
there is a lot. Look,
there's
you know what I think it is?
Double window, bathroom window. So I'm not going to count all the windows on Chalet, but there's more of them on Bank and Cafe. And those are the next 2 maps in this series. If we need all 3, of course.
I think the real problem is we're not seeing Joe playing that long angle on bar to try get spawn peaks. You know, something.
Don't even. Stop. Don't even remind me that exists, Gibby.
But again, it's been good by Knights. They've found the opening picks. They're droning effectively again. They've already got that main breach open with 30 seconds on the clock already. And now they can rotate, get that wine window open. Focus now on big garage, because what you do by opening up that main breach, A, you give yourself a late option to push in to maybe get a plant by bids, but the main reason you open it up is to stop defenders from rotating. And Tom is going to stop Joe from rotating on that ground floor as he gets that pick again. Joe going 1 and 5 since the rehost. Really, he is glad the draw has popped off. 9 and 2, and now he's gone hunting for the refrag. But Dirty, if he peeks at the right time through the window, he might be able to get one, but Siege timing sees him move to the wrong window.
I mean, we talked about it again. Joe is like that player we all like to talk about. We always talk. He's iconic for that. Those 1v1s. When you have someone like Draw who can back up that front line, and Runner who's been doing a fantastic job as well. Sam's putting in a shift as well since that rehost. It's not the worst thing in the world. You can have one player run a little bit cold. You just hope it doesn't continue for the series. But that opening pick goes untraded, yet to be traded. A minute 20 to work in the round. Sam takes a beating, source unknown. Only a few shots are enough to rattle him, and he's caught in a horrible crossfire. And the site begins to fall one by one. The members of Reven get slaughtered inside a kitchen. There's a lifeline. 2 versus 2, technical 2 versus 1, but the case should go down in this moment, and it's going to get by the main breach. Lots of time, and they've got complete site control. They have a drone to hold across his too, and they can play this from a long way back. He won't peek. He has no intention, no need to do so. And Might in a great position to cover as well. He can play a little bit close, a little bit more aggressive. Both of them have vacated the building. Outside holes are across them. By the time we see Reven get even close to that bomb, most of that time is gone. They have to be cautious, checking every single angle. This round is as good as won for Knights, unless something goes egregiously wrong. Do not overextend, do not lose your ones, but look at the angle Tom's got. He's a mile away and finds Draw, finds a second to Runner, and Knights get themselves round 10 in the bag. Look at this, he's out in Narnia, collects 1 and 2 just like that.
I called him the janitor, but I think he deserves more than that. I think I call him a waste disposal specialist. You know, you got to give him some credit. He has been so good.
So by that implication, what are you referring to Reven as?
No, I'm saying he cleans up the mess that has been done in many rounds before. That's what he's managed to do.
I'm making sure you just clarify that for everyone watching, that you're not saying anything.
Well, what you're trying to do here,
I am gaslighting
what you're trying to do
I'm gaslighting you, Gibby. That's what I'm doing. So, match point for the Knights.
Match point Knights. They've got at least 2 to play with as well before we go to overtime, and Bar Games will be the site that Reven are going to try to defend. Now, you look at the way that Reven have played. They've been extending themselves out across the map. They're losing 1v1s. You look at the way Knights are playing, and they're not entering the building looking for these picks. They're playing externally, holding crosses, because they know that at some point a Reven player is going to step across one of those windows, and then they get the open pick, then they step into the map, and that's when they've been starting to have a little bit more fun. So we're going to go to the site. Nothing really surprising here at all with the setup. We've seen this setup 150 million times before. You've got the shield on Ivy. You got to clear that if you want to get a successful
How many rounds of Chalet have you cast?
With you, lots. We're guaranteed 1 chalet a day.
I've only got 400,000 chalets. Where have you got the...
Look,
who else you casting? Who else you casting with, Gibby?
If I told you, I would just upset you. I would just upset you if I told you.
I don't even want to know at this point. Library will be our theater of war once again. Wraith in that power position. It is so difficult to clear him unless you have the right tools to do so, but Runner has brought the perfect counter. Capping tower bolts, guess what? Nothing get past them. Nothing get past the wall. My discs, the Capping tower bolts get caught. One of them goes through after a good burn. He drops away. No one catches that cross. He's safe for now. Runner left to hold us alone, but very efficient clear from Knights. No time wasted. No fat on that at all. And they've got a lot of those forward steps to gaining control of Library. Very efficient from them.
I like the way they're using the clock to their advantage here. We always say this. Time is a finite resource, but it's one that the attacking side has plenty with at the very start. So Joe still playing on Ivy. Beepers going off will reveal the position of some of those attackers as well. And Wraith is still playing inside. He's going to drop down to make sure nobody pushes up from below blue. But you look at the drone network. Reven, a lot of their players are on
beautiful.
camera. I love it. Use it. That is a beautiful nade right there.
Perfectly tossed, perfectly cooked. Chef's kiss to that one, and the opening pick goes in favor of Knights. Great read on utility. Sam's off the board. Hog mats already placed and deployed, but again, you've lost a gun. Match or map point for Knights. Another nade cooked up and ready. Tossed in from that drone hole. Doesn't connect and nothing arrives, but look at the front line forming deep towards games. They anticipate this hit to arrive sooner rather than later. Oh my god, Draw, you cannot get away with that one. A wiggle peak finds the head of Tico, and now a level 4 versus 4, 50 seconds, and this execute might get a little bit spicy. Can the cross be good from lobby, or will Draw go on another rampage?
Well, there's still some bolts in the back pocket. Draw steps down. That wall being open does mean that he can actually hold stock from this position as well. Rudder, 1 HP and a dream as well. Draw playing on top of main stairs, still with 30 seconds to go. You feel like the push has to come. Crossfire being established. Draw's going to hit another shot as he steps inside. It's a 4 versus 3. 13-3 for Draw now since that 4th round. He has gone nuclear. Rat steps in as well. A player inside Dirt. Rat does a lot of damage onto Dirty. And Dirty's going to fire back, though. It's now a 3 versus 3 as Jerry steps inside. Gets in a gunfight with Omai. It's going to be a 2 versus 3. Draws DBNO. It's all down to Joe. He is below, he gets 1, making it a 2v2, and the clock hits triple zeros, and Reven managed to just claw that round back by the skin of their teeth. Joe going pro. Joe was alive at the end of the round.
No! How could this be? How could this be? What black magic is working? Joe alive and he wins the round? It's the key factor. He goes prone, hides his rat's nest, and gets it done for his team. Meaning we need all 12 rounds of regulation to side this very first map, Gibby. Would you have thought that 4 rounds in when Knights looked to be in complete dominance? Did you think this would go all the way to round 12? I was secretly hoping it would be.
Well, it's us casting. You know, we are the bargain binniest and death, so...
I'm hoping for the guys in chat so they can get their drops.
That's
right. I'm on their side today.
If this goes all the way in every map, you should get your drops.
I've read the script, guys. You want those drops, stay watching this one. But it's also a good game as well.
I'm enjoying it. I'm not going to lie. It's 6-5 to Knights. It's been a pretty good game by them. They've not put too many feet wrong this whole time around. That last round, it was just a brilliant play by Joe to clutch out that round. So this is it now for Reven. You win this round in defense, you take it to overtime. Knights know as simple as they win this round and they steal away Reven's map choice. Some teams maybe make a couple of mistakes in scenarios like this. Sometimes they make some mistakes. So will we see Knights stick to the game plan, keep droning out effectively, try to get those picks without putting yourself in too much trouble? Or are Reven going to draw into the well once more?
No, that was a pun. That was a pun.
You like what I did there?
Leave the virtual. You live an hour up the road from me. I will remove your SM7B privileges. Other mics are available.
Come on, it's a good pun. They draw into that. Come on.
Away. No puns. It's like 3 a.m. Gibby. I've had enough. I've been awake for 40 hours.
That's normal for you. Anyway.
It's on the low end of things.
2 minutes and 4 seconds to play with from Knights. The opening pick does come in as Mate is able to take down Draw. The Candela is causing confusion. Tiku gets another one as Runner is going to fall. Mate's going to get Joe as all of a sudden the 5 versus 2. They leave it down to Wraith and Sam. Wraith now sees that Roku go away, and all of a sudden he's playing inside Trophy. Sam's going for the big rotate round the other side of the map as well. But in this 5 versus 2, you wonder where the next gunfight's going to kick off. Full verticality has been established, but Sam is creeping and crawling his way across that top floor. He's got the long angle. He's got himself a pick as well. Mate's going to get taken down. 4 versus 2. And now Wraith's going to hear the player coming down the stairs, and he's going to get himself... No, he misses the chance. Gets his 1. Gets the DBNO as well, but there's Tom to make it a 1 versus 3. And Sam sneaks his way through dining. Gets into the gunfight, but Tom is there again. And the Knights win map 1.
Oh, it came down to a scary situation, a winnable clutch moment there for side of Reven. Unfortunately, trades just go the opposite way. Sam, that was so close. Could have got that done, but Knights take their very first map of the series. They take Chalet, and it's the map choice of Reven. That is huge to come in this one. That's going to bring a lot of momentum, and they get it done in regulation, avoiding the scary prospects of a long, drawn-out opening map going to overtime.
And that's going to do them a lot of confidence as well. If they